All countries love food and all have something special in their cuisine that they're proud about. But there's one country that has some of the most bizarre foods that we've ever seen. Have you already guessed which one it is? Well, if you guessed China, you're right on the spot. Let's see the top 10 most unusual foods that Chinese love, but it's really hard to find in other countries. Number 1 is tuna eyes. If you're into strange taste, then you will definitely be intrigued by this. Imagine 2 fleshy eyeballs about the size of a tennis ball served as a snack in a bar or an appetizer in a restaurant. The whole meal consists of the hard exterior of the eye, which holds the lens, the iris, and the gelatinous fluid. And when properly cooked, you can eat the exterior because it becomes chewy and then suck out the rest just like you'd be doing with bone marrow. 2 is chicken testicles. If you look at them, you'll see something that resembles a big white bean, and you might want to keep it like that in your mind because we don't believe that many people would like to think that what they're eating is actually a testicle. Although if you eat it on its own, it's pretty tasteless. But if you combine it with garlic, soy sauce, they become excellent. Or so they say. You can find them grilled or boiled and usually served in a broth of your choice or in a rice and noodle dish. And yes, we're thinking of many jokes, but we're going to keep this SFW. Number 3 is century eggs. Century eggs are also called 1,000-year eggs because guess what? They're pretty old by the time you get to eat them. The century eggs are either chicken, duck, or quail eggs that are coated with lime, ashes, mud, and then soaked in brine for about 100 days in order for the yolk to turn green and the white to become gelatinous and dark brown in color. Even though it sounds absolutely disgusting, people say they have a delicious, creamy flavor, but also a very strong smell. Number 4 is sheep penis. Indeed, there are even restaurants that specialize in making sheep penises, which are quite fancy, and even Jamie Oliver has eaten one. Or 2. We don't know. The sheep penis is mostly eaten raw or deep fried, but you can also find it steamed. Some people say the taste is similar to that of squid, and we get it. I mean, both of them are shaped quite similarly. But if sheep are not to your liking, then you'd be pleased to know they're not the only option. You can also get donkey, deer, sheep, ox, seal, yak, snake, horse, dog, bull, or tiger penises. So you have quite a lot of choices. Why do Chinese people like to eat this so much? Well, they believe it increases their virility. I mean, why not? Number 5 is bird's nest. We don't mean a dish called bird's nest as a metaphor for something that looks like a bird's nest. We mean an actual bird's nest that's made into a soup. The small Chinese bird that's called a swiftlet makes its nest from its own saliva, and the nest becomes hardened when it's exposed to air. Now, some people saw that and thought, what if we put some chicken broth in that and ate it? And so it became a dish, and it's very famous for its health benefits. We have to admit it takes a lot of fantasy in order to make this, so kudos to the Chinese. Number 6 is Bowlette. It doesn't sound so bad, does it? Well, wait until you find out what Bowlette is, and then we'll talk. Bowlette is a developing duck embryo. Yes, we know, but wait, there's more. The duck embryo is boiled and then eaten in its own shell. You want more? We have more. People claim that the best part of this, the delicacy, is when you tip the egg up and sip on the liquid inside. Strangely enough, a lot of people absolutely adore it, and it's not famous only in China, but also Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. 7 is snake soup. We know you've probably heard of people eating snakes, but what about snake soup? Well, apparently snake soups are very famous in the winter, and people eat them in order to warm up and maybe show off a little bit, since it is considered a gourmet food. If you expect the snake to be whole, you'll be disappointed though. It's served with the snake shredded inside. Although a lot of people say it tastes like chicken, if it's a cold winter night, you'll find us eating chicken soup, the original, and not the snake soup that tastes somewhat like it. It's a thank you but no thank you from us. Number 8 is roasted street bird. It's served on a stick, and you can get it on the go. Just make sure one of its relatives is not going to come and seek revenge on you, because what you're eating is literally a bird that can be found out on any street, like a pigeon. And when we say like, we mean they are actually pigeons. Also, don't expect small pieces on the stick. Expect the whole bird. Although they're served in weddings and celebrations, don't think they're hard to find or expensive to get. The normal price for a street bird, around $3. Number 9 is scorpions. Nope, they're not dangerous to eat. if that's what you're thinking. To be honest, if you see them deep fried on a stick, you'll probably forget that you considered scorpions to be dangerous ever. You can choose to eat them with salt, chili salt, or anything else the chef or vendor is offering. As many other foods in China, it's believed that by eating scorpions, a man enhances his manliness, and we have to admit it takes a certain kind of courage in order to eat that, so maybe the rumor's true. We'll never know because we will never try. Number 10, Stinky Tofu. It's not tofu, it's stinky tofu, not to be confused because they're two different things. Stinky tofu is fermented tofu that has a very, and we mean very, strong smell. You can find it served with cabbage, although you won't smell anything else other than your stinky tofu, so you might as well have it with anything you like. We guess the smell might be the reason the stinky tofu is usually sold at night markets or roadside stands, and it's very difficult to find at a restaurant. Well, there you have it. Those are your top 10 weirdest foods that exist in China. Have you ever tried any of them? If not, which one do you think you'd be brave enough to try? Tell us about it in the comments.